Okay. So, encoding overloaded. Yeah, okay. Happens every time. But, so this recording is me kind of calling myself out and holding myself accountable for some things, and also um reflecting and shit, and I guess trying to grow. But so today, March 19th, 2025, I I was triggered by something that a friend of mine said, where my views on her humanity are similar to Malthus, which from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, who's one of the main villains. And he's not wrong. He's not wrong, but my ego still got triggered because of, you know, he's a villain and shit. And, if normal people, heard that shit, what would they think? And that's at least the start of my spiral. Apologies in advance if I have to suddenly pause the recording and come back, because I've been having stomach issues and been periodically rushing to the bathroom, so yeah, that might happen again. But his he's not responsible for my own emotional well-being, which some of the videos that I've watched said a couple times. But I've went down a kind of rabbit hole. At first I wanted to look at videos analyzing Amalthus, and I watch one and stuff, and it's not, that part's not really important. What's important is these videos about narcissistic behavior and stuff. I've watched a few, and I made a playlist. A private one where where the idea would be I would eventually make a recording of me reacting to stuff that's said, and break it down and twist it like I usually would to fit my own narrative, and just throw things in chaos and confusion like a narcissist kind of would. I would argue, I've watched a couple videos now. For one thing, oh god. There's one thing I want to mention, but I don't want to derail myself, so hopefully I can remember to come back to it with it staring me in the face. But so I'm not really sure if my behaviors are manipulative. I mean, these videos are usually in the vein of like telling someone what to do when someone else is a narcissist. But the thing is, like, for manipulation, the idea is usually like making someone react for something for like a certain goal, or like to control people basically. And when I do it, my intentions aren't really to control people. It's that I'm hurt. I want my pain to be heard and cared about. But also there's parts of me where I want to be a mirror to show how damaging and monstrous people can be, normal people, while criticizing their like the normal beliefs and stuff of like good people, bad people, that sort of shit, and why I don't want to play that kind of game. But yeah, it's usually when I have these like questions and shit and criticize, I guess what I've found out about myself is usually it's not about being right. If someone tells me I'm right, that just fucks me up. That fucks me up because I don't want to be right. It's fucking, these people think they got their shit straight, and yet I see all of these fucking inconsistencies or contradictions, and fucking I'm like, I'm hurt. I'm fucking hurt by it. And so I want them to see my hurt, to, I guess, suffer in the same way I did by proposing these questions that breaks this shit down and shows how fucking confusing it is, in hopes that they have a better fucking answer, or at least acknowledge that I'm, you know, these are things that I don't have actual answers for, and my beliefs are just the bleak fucking reality that I can make sense of this shit out of. Basically a best that I can come up with type of thing. So, but yeah, I don't remember most of what I watch, at least vividly. But again, I saved them to playlists so I can rewatch them some other time. But I can say that there's some narcissistic behavior where that was described as like, yeah, I do that. But so before I continue, and hopefully I can get back to my thing, I believe these are like AI, where they take audios from this person's lectures, Jordan Peterson, and they mesh them to different clips of stuff like scenery, like calming stuff, walking in the woods and whatever, and those images repeat. Like last video I watched, like, had a really big section that repeated into audio. Like, the visuals are, that's understandable if they repeat. I mean, it's just background. But the actual, yeah, and like, there's Empowered Mind, and then there's this other mind one, and it's like, it was similar, like, thumbnails and shit, and like, but something that I noticed is that they'd like count things wrong. Like, there'd be like, let's see, there'd be like, I seen one that is like the 7 or 8 ways. Shit, let me just pull it up. Let me just pull that shit up. Okay. Playlist, please. Breakdown. Seven ways to torture narcissists. Ugh. I wanted this as like things to avoid, but like, this one is not numbered, and it does not say these are 7 ways. It's just there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Or different chapters. 8 evidence shows signs there's an evil person in your life. Me. So 8 signs. Okay, so this is numbered. There's 1 and there's 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Why does it say 8? Motivational Minds. And then we have this one where it says God responds in 5 ways. I have not watched this yet. It'd be interesting. I'm interested in seeing this, how God sees your pain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Huh. I assume it doesn't actually list 5 ways. But, also, I'm interested in seeing how God sees my pain, because what if my pain isn't caused from a narcissist? What if my pain is caused from just, you know, being alive? You know? Or for me to be the toxic person that I am, you know, there's a saying that the truth hurts. What if the truth is causing me pain? How does God see that? Maybe that's not, you know, maybe that's not addressed. I don't know. I'd like to see it, but instead of seeing it, I decided to record this, and I'm not even in on what I actually wanted to talk about. While watching some of these videos, there's one point where it talked about, I think it was the evil person one, where it was like, anyone can like be generous when they expect, you know, something in return and stuff. So like, how do we know if someone's like genuinely a good person is seeing how they treat people that they wouldn't benefit from, or something along those lines? And what happened from that is that I fantasized. I had a daydream where I ran through this scenario in my mind of what if I did that? What if I did that, you know? What if I treated someone well when I get no benefit from it? I mean, I would argue there'd be benefit from it. Like, I would benefit. Just to fucking spite. That's probably how I should have went about it in the Daydreams, where like I imagine somebody like seen my deed or some shit, and they confront me about it, being like, yeah, see, I told you you're a good person or whatever, and that thought set me off. It triggered me so bad to where I just went off in my brain, and I couldn't control my emotions enough to where it actually came out of me. The argument and outburst to that I was playing in my brain actually came out of my mouth physically. I couldn't contain it in myself. I mean, I'm at home, nobody's fucking here. Maybe the neighbors upstairs heard me yelling at nobody. But yeah. Cause the point is that that is from something of the fucking 8 signs you're dealing with an evil person thing, I believe. But then I watched the shit. I believe it's the 5 clever ways how to deal with toxic people. Or, yeah. How smart minds treat toxic people. Because what was great about it is that he also clarifies and gives examples of like how to not give those people power over you, but in a way where you don't have to be cruel or defensive. So, and that's how I want to fucking be, you know? I don't want to justify being cruel to toxic people or bad people, unlike how most people that I see in life do. And that's why I have a fucking problem with being called a good person. And that's why I had an outburst in that fantasy where I don't remember what I said. I would like to remember what I said because I feel like there's some good points. They're my beliefs about human behavior and stuff, and I bring up in my outbursts about fucking good people being a good person is a label that people use to justify doing cruelty to those that they view as bad people. and something about how like I like I'm trying to remember exactly, but I guess I don't have to. I can just say some of my thoughts right now, which are my feelings and stuff and beliefs. Is that like what I'd probably bring up is Martin Luther King Jr., how he preached about loving our enemies, and how I don't see that much. How I mostly see is, you know, people justifying, trying to do or say cruel things about the people that they hate, like Hitler. And I could try to use that as like me saying that, like, I turn and criticize my own behavior as, you know, not treating the people around me with, you know, love right now, and use that to label myself as a hypocrite. And because hypocrites are bad people, that means that since I'm a bad person, everyone around me is justified in treating me like shit. And then I'd put that on the table for people to do. And the thing is, it's something in the smart brains treating toxic people thing. That video mentioned something about reactive impulses versus thoughtful responses. And giving yourself space to be aware that there's a choice to react impulsively, or to try and have a thoughtful response is kind of a powerful thing. But that's definitely, I definitely reacted impulsively because I in that fantasy because I couldn't control my pain and emotions. And after the outburst at first, before I watched that video, I was thinking about like apology, where like there was part of me that wanted to apologize, but didn't know what to apologize for. I had mixed feelings, and I would have to sit with myself and those and reflect. I would need time to reflect before I could come to a conclusion. And I've had that. And after the video and reflecting on stuff, the thing I would apologize for is letting my pain and emotions control me and get out of hand. Though at first the fantasy or whatever was just a one-on-one thing. But when I started ranting or whatever, the situation morphed into more of me in a public space around people I know in real life, where I've seen or heard some of their behaviors, some things they've said of cruelty towards others, and I'd be, you know, raise my voice in pain about an anger about people's behaviors and how it hurts me to be called a good person when I don't want to play that kind of game. And also in that self-reflection, I thought about their point of view. Well, first I actually brought up the bunch of people in a public space thing because if it actually happened, I assume that, you know, they're humans. Because I'm comparing them to Hitler, it's more than likely that people would get fucking angry and offensive, and so they would start an argument with me instead of just letting me say my piece. Because I'm, you know, basically degrading them, they'd degrade me back. Because that's fucking human nature. But, and maybe then it'd escalate, which is a scary fucking thought, but, back to the reflection. I thought about their perspective, the person I blew up on in the fantasy, and, I guess their intentions, which I want to argue that intentions don't really matter. Like, I believe they can be valued. Intentions can be valued. However, with the saying of good, the path to hell is paved with good intentions. Like, the truth is that sometimes good intentions, having good intentions doesn't prevent us from doing bad things, from being evil or anything like that. So, I do not usually, ideally, place value on good intentions. And I would like, you know, in my toxic behavior, to use that as a crutch in saying that, you know, if anyone tries to say that I'm good because of my intentions, I can just throw that at them and be like, no, that's wrong. Good intentions does not mean that I'm a good person, and it doesn't protect me or anyone from any bad deeds that I do while having good intentions. But to kind of focus, if somebody normally, with the person that I imagined this with, normally people saying you're a good person isn't an intention to hurt people. It's not an intention to, it wasn't their intention to hurt me, even though it did. And they did not know how it, my pain at all. And I guess some of the reason why that I didn't really know about apologizing is because some of the shit that I've said in my outbursts is my own feelings and pain that I want to be known, to matter and stuff. And they're actually my beliefs for the most part. But yeah, after reflecting and watching that video about, that part about thoughtful response, it really should have been, it'd been better as a dialogue, to talk about, to really talk about my pain and shit without degrading other people's views or experiences or pain. And with my own pain being in control, and that wasn't what happened. But maybe of course I'm sorry about that, because reflecting on it now, that behavior hurts me as well as kind of hurts them. And I'm realizing right now the internal conflict of that's inherent in that situation, where I am hurt in a way where I can't control myself, but I still have a desire to want my pain heard and understood, And so, it's hard to just walk away or, be like, I am too emotional to have a conversation. I need to leave and come back later. When it's hard to feel like that. It's hard to have that control when, there are things you want said and known. But yeah, so that's what happened, and that's what I wanted to record. That's what I wanted to record. And I am making myself vulnerable to the internet. To the fucking internet, you know? That's not usually a smart thing to do, but I it would be easy to just not do this. It'd be easier just like why do I need to record this, you know? And it's a feeling. I don't have the current words to explain it, but I have a feeling that for my own benefit and growth, I wanted to somehow hold myself accountable for an action that didn't hurt anybody. It was just bad fantasy that got out of control, and I got out of control. But I guess at the same time, I was there. I was witness to it. I experienced this, and I want to grow from it. And so there are benefits to making this recording and putting it out on YouTube. But yeah, I would say my own selfish benefit because, you know, I want to twist benefit into being selfish. But I actually do want to I do want to talk about these feelings and beliefs I have, and I want to gather my thoughts and stuff, and it's hard when I'm like thinking in real time, trying to give myself my own space to think things through before I say them. And I'm remembering one of the parts where they're talking about in the videos about narcissists and their behavior, and I was like, that's me. Is obviously like twisting reality into my own narrative and shit, but what was I going to talk about? I kind of lost track a little bit. Hold on. It had to do with like thoughts and beliefs and, you know, reality. So I think what it was is something about like, you know, like making people question themselves and stuff, and like tearing down our sense like so we can't trust ourselves or whatever, and like or something about like fucking something about you know, the truth and reality like destabilizes the narcissist control or some shit, and I'm like, how the fuck do I know that mine is reality? And you know, if I say my beliefs and shit, and what if lots of people are telling me I'm wrong and trying to convince me of what's right or whatever, to and like make me question myself, and how much of that is you know, me being toxic, how much is them being toxic, because you know, they have some of our most natural ways are kind of toxic, and I want to fucking move away from that, like fucking trying to control people. Like I've had that behavior before where I have my views and I feel like someone else would benefit if they seen the world like I do, or something, though really they like my views are completely pessimistic and shit. So really, even if I view their beliefs as wrong, or I can like find contradictions, poke holes in it, my fucking beliefs isn't going to do them any better. It's going to make things even bleaker for them. And so like, am I really helping? But then again, you know, the truth fucking hurts, you know? So shit. It is storming outside, and I have no clue if my microphone can pick it up. But like, I guess if like, I want to compare myself to like flat earthers or whatever, because you know, the consensus is those people are wrong, and they're usually shit on as morons and shit, but they also like most of the times, as I hear it, is that, you know, they like try to force their views on people and stuff, but like that's pretty much what I see from everyone is fucking, you know, who's right, who's wrong, because it's a fucking power dynamic. Whoever's right comes out on top, and whoever's wrong, fuck them. They have to conform or piss off. Their feelings and needs don't matter. And the reason why we fucking fight so hard is we don't want to be on the fucking losing side, you know? We don't want our needs and feelings to just be fucking ignored and not cared about. But at the same time, there's like the idea of like, is my beliefs reality? And that's something that I struggled with in watching some of the fucking videos, is because they're like, oh, you gotta, they'll try to twist your reality, and so you gotta be firm and shit, and like, bro, like what if's on the other side, you know? Like that's something I wanted to break down, is that like, you know, maybe narcissists can use the same tactic. Maybe flat earthers can use the same tactic where, you know, which is something that I kind of normally think about. Is like, you know, our values and virtues, are they really all that good? When if they're really good, then wouldn't they also be good when villains use it? Like, you know, never give up. That's a virtue. Do we like it when villains don't give up? No, we fucking don't. But hey, it's a virtue. If they're never giving up, then that's a good thing, right? They're doing a good thing. They're being virtuous. And it's something that I want to point out because it's like a contradiction. Well, if that's how is that a good thing for when the good people do it, but a bad thing when the bad people do it? Like, how are we supposed to know, like, if we're the good or bad people when fucking... It's like, how the hell can you tell? But and that's kind of my point with that. It's like, how can I tell that I'm not, you know, the toxic person who's trying to force my beliefs on our people, try and manipulate them into seeing the world my way? Or how am I supposed to know that they aren't the same way? When I see that from most people, basically, when this toxic behavior is a thing that happens naturally in like everyone. It's a natural dynamic. And, you know, they talk about refusing to play the narcissist game, and well, I kind of want one, like, what if the whole world's a fucking narcissist? What if the people who are right or whatever, the people who, you know, don't believe that humans are evil or monsters, that believe, you know, that there's good people and bad people, and good people have a right to shit on the bad people and do, you know, justify cruelty against them, and to believe that they are somehow better than Hitler, then because that's what I commonly see people do. Is it right for me to see the whole world as narcissists? Maybe not the whole world, but based on their behavior, see these good people as narcissists. And even if I do, I kind of want to treat them. I don't want to justify being cruel to them. But again, I could try to not play that game, which is exactly what pains me to begin with. Is I don't want to play that good guy, bad guy fucking game. But what my ego does is fucking throws myself under the bus, because I view myself as bad sometimes, and from their perspective, like, it doesn't matter if they see me as good. They can always find something bad to justify fucking, you know, treat me like shit about. I mean, I can do that myself. I can present that to them. I can make them face the truth that hurts. That, maybe they're fucking wrong about me being a good person. Show them just how messy and chaotic things are so that they can question their own game. But that's probably not the best response. And I do want to do more videos about my beliefs and how I want to treat people and shit. And I kind of just wanted this to be short, but it's almost an hour already, so in about 10 minutes I'll try to wrap it up. But in the narcissistic talk videos, there's some mentions of power, lots of mentions of responsibility, and from my point of view and my experiences, I've grown to view responsibility as a kind of like responsibility comes with power, and not just great responsibility. Great power comes with great responsibility, but sometimes great responsibility can come with great power and control and shit. And narcissists apparently want to control people, manipulate them, and part of that is shifting blame and being, and so like if I'm to blame for, like, if I take the blame or take responsibility for their actions, how I twisted that is that if I'm responsible, then that means I'm the one with the power. Yet the narcissist is trying to manipulate me so they feel like they're in control and have power. If I'm to blame, if I'm the one with the responsibility, then I'm the one with the power. And so why shouldn't the narcissists, if they want power, why shouldn't they take responsibility? I mean, yeah, there's like some hard things and negative things with it, but like there's power in it. And something that was also said in one of the videos is that the tactics of a narcissist is not self-sustaining. Their form of self-worth doesn't come from themselves. It comes from taking it from other people. Whether it's by manipulation of trying to find superiority above people, or I guess trying to manipulate people into giving worth to them, which is even like I don't know. I feel like some of these are like they can be unconscious. Not really intended strategies, but like habits that we have to you know, get our needs met, which is either like feeling security or something. And you know, narcissists don't want to feel insecure. They want to feel in control. And if their strategies don't work for that, they feel vulnerable. And you know, nobody wants to feel vulnerable. So of course they would fucking try their best to regain control the best way they know how, which is their learned strategies. And so the way that I've been thinking about things, even before these videos, even before today, is that I want to have power, but I also want to give other people power as well. I want them to have choice, and because there's power in choice. It, like, there's also talk of like fixing a narcissist, but and one of the things that says like they're not people don't change unless they want to, I guess. Well, like forcing people to change, like nobody likes that. People are gonna push back on that. Same for fucking our politics, where if people feel like they're being forced to change, they're going to put back. They're going to push back. And so like I really don't know how to say this, but like I don't know how to frame it, because I have thoughts on like what people should do, what should happen, but you know what? Even if it's what I believe to be the best option, it's better in my belief to give people choice, to choose for themselves what they believe would be best for them to do. And that gives them power. And like if I want people to give me the same thing, to not force me to change to become a better person, instead allow me to like choose. Like they can bring up concerns, but allow me to choose what I should do, then like if that's what I want for me, I don't want to be a hypocrite, so I should treat other people that way, even narcissists, where give them that power choice instead of like trying to force them to change, either by trying to explain stuff or even somehow trying to manipulate them back into doing what I want them to do. Like there can still be like consequences, and there can still be like, I have these boundaries, I would like for you to respect them. It's your choice whether you should respect them or not, but if you don't, then there's there's going to be consequences, because these boundaries are just to tell you that these are important to me, and if you break them, then if you cross those boundaries, then it's going to hurt me in some way. So I don't want to be in a relationship where I'm going to be hurt and my boundary is not respected. So we might have to have a conversation or something. But like, it's all right there for there to be consequences, but trying to use that to force someone's behavior instead of like being all like, you have a choice, and you know, it's, I don't know. It's hard for me to explain, because sometimes it can feel like it's not a choice, especially when it's like a rock in a hard place where no matter what you choose, there's going to be pain. Like Jesus' crucifixion, I assume. But I'm not going to delve in that later, or now. But yeah, like, this is probably kind of damning right now, but I like say this on the internet, but I don't know my boundaries that much right now. I don't understand myself. I guess I don't respect myself enough for me to know what kind of boundaries I'd have. But so I can't really have that conversation with anyone. But I'm a bit of a toxic person myself, so for anyone, they also have a choice of whether they interact and engage with me or not. And I want to give people that choice. If good people deserve friendship or whatever, then that, like, if I'm a good person, then that means I'm entitled to other people's friendship. And that, you know, essentially that means that other people are forced to be my friend, and if not, they'll suffer consequences. But I don't want that. I don't want to deserve friends, because I don't want to be entitled to them. I want my friends to be people who choose to fucking put up with me. So I don't want to deserve friends. And I don't deserve followers either, or comments. Those should all be choices for the people who want to interact with me to do if they choose. So yeah, this is kind of all over the place right now, but I have a lot of feelings and shit I need to work through, and perhaps give a more thoughtful response to. So But yeah, that's going to be all for this one. I want to say leave a comment, but I guess I want to encourage comments, but I don't know what kind of comments I want to encourage. But I don't know what the reception of this video would be. Most of my videos have no comments, so I don't really expect much. But I don't know what kind of discussions we can have. But I guess if anybody wants to, have a discussion or something, feel free to leave a comment down below, and I guess remind me to try and give myself time to have produce more thoughtful responses so that we can have a conversation instead of an argument. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Take care and bye.